Hello everyone, and thank you for watching my 248 tutorial. In this lecture I wanted to tell you how you can add rounded edges to any element of your UI. We had this image in our assets folder that was called white rounded rectangle, and we will now use it to add rounded corners to our tiles. To do this I have expanded our game field, and I've made it so that we have just tiles and numbered cells visible, so we have just the components that have images on them. I will select the first tile and I will scroll down in this hierarchy list, and while holding down Shift I can click on this last numbered cell, and this will select all the elements on our game field. And now I can go to the inspector and it shows me that all the elements that I have chose have this image component attached to them. And in Unity I can edit multiple objects that have the same component, so I can change source image for all of them. And I can click on this little circle here that will open a sprite selection window so that I can select my white rounded rectangle. And as you can see, it already looks nice. It has added this little rounded corners to all of my sprites. And now let's try to do the same with our game field. So I can go and in hierarchy find our game field, and here it seems like we can do the same thing. So I'll go to the source image and I will select white rounded rectangle as a source image, and we can see that it doesn't look that brilliant as it looks for our tiles, because this image white rounded rectangle is a fixed resolution image. It's 64 by 64 pixels, and because it has such a small resolution, these corners, they get a bit blurry and they have this big curve radius. Probably we would like to have them a bit more like the corners of our tiles. So to fix that, we have this useful option in Unity. I can go to our white rounded rectangle, and here in the inspector I can hit on this button that's called Sprite Editor, and as you might have noticed, we have these green squares on each side of our image, and I can drag them and this will apply this little grid onto our image. What it does exactly is it applies this technique called a 9 slice, because it slices our images into 9 different parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we cannot see the 9th because it is covered by this menu. So I can hold Alt and scroll back a little bit so that we can see it like this. And this 9 slicing technique, it gives us an opportunity to use this sprite in multiple interesting ways, but we probably want our slices to spread evenly across our image. So I can go to this sprite menu and select the distances of our slices in pixels. So I think 8 is fine, because 8 is this distance from the left, so I will make it 8 pixels on the top, 8 pixels from the right, and 8 pixels from the bottom. And after I have introduced any changes, I have to go and hit apply. It is very important to apply all the changes that you've made in the sprite editor. And once I close that, it seems like nothing has changed, but I can now go to our game field, and here in the image script there is this option called image type. This image type option in the image script is set to simple, and if I change it to sliced, it will apply this 9 slicing technique to our game field, and the corners of our game field will become nice and round, just like we have them on our tiles. And this is happening because I will go once again to our rectangle and to the sprite editor, and when we use any image in sliced mode and we have to stretch this image to fill our game object, only this center piece will stretch, and these borders, they will stretch just in one direction, but these corner elements, they won't stretch, so they will be applied as is. So currently our game field has these 8 by 8 pixels corners, and the center element and these borders, they get stretched to accommodate the size of our game field. So we have talked about the rounded corners, and there is another little thing that I'd like to show to you. Right now, if I enter my game, I have this high score that says 2292, but what if we want to reset our high score? And we know that this value comes from the PlayerPrefs, so we have to somehow access our PlayerPrefs, and there is no easy way of changing our PlayerPrefs just from the Unity editor. So I will exit play mode and go to my monodevelop. I will open my scripts folder, and the particular script that I'm interested in is this score tracker. because it has to do with scores, so we will use that. And once my score tracker script is opened in MonoDevelop, I can go to its awake function and add just one line of code that says PlayerPrefs dot delete all. So next time when I launch my game, right in the beginning of this awake function, all the keys will be deleted from our PlayerPrefs, so the PlayerPrefs will basically get reset, and I can go to my file and hit save and go back to Unity. And once I launch my game in Unity next time, you can see that the PlayerPrefs will get cleared and both the score and the high score values will be set to 0. And to count scores for us next time, it is important to go back to our MonoDevelop, and here in awake I can just comment this line, so I will add these two slashes. So this way, if you want to delete any of the information from your PlayerPrefs, you can just add this line to any scripts that you have and it will do the job for you. But you also want to be attentive and comment this line or delete it next time you will launch your game, because we don't want PlayerPrefs to be deleted anytime that we play this game. So in this video we have talked about adding rounded corners to images in our UI, and also we have talked about different image types, so we can have our images sliced or tiled or filled instead of simple, and it will change the behavior that they have in our game. And we have also talked about PlayerPrefs and what we can do to reset PlayerPrefs. And the next lecture is going to be really interesting. I'm going to talk about coroutines and how they can help us run tasks in different threads in C#, and we will use this functionality to introduce little delays in between moves so that our players can see how the moves are made, and it will make the whole game look more dynamic. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.